Hi, I'm Jim Setzer with Images by Design, and today we're going to be taking a look at my new Manfrotto Backpack 50 photo backpack. But before we get into the Manfrotto, I want to share with you my current photo backpack. This one has a Vivitar logo on it. Who knows who really made it? I've had this model for almost 3 years now. After the first 2 years in, the first one was so shredded, the inside panels were all coming apart and being held in by literally safety pins and glue. The zippers were all coming apart. I sent it back to Vivitar. They replaced it under warranty. But this one, coming up on a year, is already starting to show signs of wear. Some of the seams are coming apart here in the corners. And while I think the build quality has improved since that first copy, the inside panels aren't coming apart yet. I need to move on for other reasons. The biggest one is the fact that this is compartmentalized. You've got an upper compartment here and a lower compartment there. Right now I've got some flashes and some extra batteries and triggers and things like that in the upper compartment. And down here is where I keep my camera bodies and lenses and chargers and other accessories. So that's all well and good, but if I'm shooting sports or wildlife where I need a super tele, there's simply no room for it in this bag. And if I'm going away on a trip where that might be included, I just simply have no way of working it with this bag. So I've decided to move on to this Manfrotto. I think I'm going to keep it around for times where I don't need to worry about it getting all beat up or dirty or muddy. Also for travel, if I'm not going to be pulling a telephoto lens with me. I know this fits nicely underneath the seat of even the smaller aircraft, so I can take this with me and not have to worry about having to check it plane side or whatever. So I'm going to keep it around. Let's turn our attention now to the Manfrotto. Give me a moment to take this out of the bag, and then we will walk around this a little bit and show you some of the features that I really liked about it. Let's start by taking a look around the outside of the bag. On this side panel, you've got this small zipper pouch. This would be great for airline tickets, passports, small flat items. Slightly larger pouch there. Not exactly sure what I put in that, but I'm sure we'll find a good use for it. Around the front, you've got these kind of recessed pouches that contain straps. So when you've got a full-size tripod and you pull out the tripod boot, there you go. Put the two legs of that tripod in there. It could be yay long, whatever you need, and then use these straps to strap it in and make it secure. You've got some kind of web buckles here. This is really nice because it'll allow you to drop your camera and big lens in the top of this, not have to unzip it all the way and possibly have lenses fall out. Be able to reach in there and grab that out without having to undo this, and that's going to secure it and hold it in place. Over here on this side, nice big deep pouch, and I think I can actually get my travel tripod into this pouch. I'm hoping. If it sticks out a little bit, there's a strap here for that. They show it with two legs of the tripod in the pouch, but I don't know, maybe we can make it all fit. Mine's pretty small. Back here you have a laptop pouch, and that looks like it'll hold a pretty sizable laptop. Certainly a 15-inch, maybe a 17. I've got a fairly large desktop equivalent laptop. I'm going to try to squeeze it in here, although I don't take that on travel all that often. I don't do a lot of editing on the road. I just want really a tablet to be able to view, maybe cull down pictures, and so keep the weight down and don't bring that horsepower if I don't need to. Now really the business end of any backpack, and that's these, how these strap harnesses are all designed. And I like this one because it's got webbing that brings the shoulder straps up and ties them directly into the frame, so you're not tugging away at this zipper or any of these other fabric areas. That makes it really nice, especially if you've got this loaded down with 40 pounds of gear. It's got cross straps like most of them have. It's got these really big, thick padded waist strap, and that's great if you're going on hikes. You're going to be climbing around and stuff. It really takes a lot of the weight off your shoulders. But I'll tell you, these are really big and they're really thick and they get in the way a lot. I'm hoping that these Velcro out and I can take these and store them somewhere where I only put them in when I need them. I'm not sure if that's going to work. It's not touted as a feature that way. I do like this big, heavy, padded, semi-rigid back panel here. Before we get into that main compartment, I did take a minute to check out that waist strap, and sure enough, it's held in place by these two really big Velcro pads. It was a little tricky at first to sandwich my fingers in there and get that pulled away from that Velcro. But then it's easily slid out, and I can store this away for those times that I really need it. And now the back of the backpack's a lot less busy. I really like that a lot. So that's great. And then as I was doing that, I noticed it's got this trolley harness. So if you're running through an airport, you've got your Pullman bag on wheels, you can just tuck that trolley handle right through there and set that on top and not worry about it falling over. Great. The main compartment, let's just start with a quick little reveal at the top here. Like I said, I like the fact that I can peel back just this one compartment, this one part of the main flap, and I have easy access to the camera and the lenses. I also like this really hard, rigid material that's the inside of this main flap. It really gives it a lot of structure, protect your equipment against impacts and falls, and so I like that a lot. Now to get to the main flap completely open, you undo these two buckles on these webs, finish zipping down the sides, peel this back, and you've got your main compartment here. And that includes this kind of red area. This is nice kind of soft velvety material to protect the finish on your big lens and your inner camera body, and lots of movable compartments like you would expect to be able to put in other lenses, other accessories, power, extra everything you need. And then let me flip it around and show you the top of the main flap. And that includes 3 netted compartments. This one came with a few more straps. I would imagine that's for large tripods where you may need 2 or 3 straps to hold it secured to the front of the unit. These are great for filters if you carry filters. I don't. And then it's got this other compartment, which I think is going to be ideal for my 12-inch tablet. I think the 12-inch tablet will fit in here. I'll find out soon enough. So there we go. There's the quick walk around. Next thing I'm going to do is load this up with a full set of camera gear, see what it looks like fully packed. So here we have the bag loaded up with all of my gear for a trip. And the first thing we'll talk about is that tripod pouch. Yeah, I couldn't quite get my travel tripod safely tucked inside that like I was hoping. As when it's folded the other way, it's just too thick. This pouch just isn't quite big enough to do that. A little disappointed in there, so I don't think that's going to really work as far as holding the tripod during a hiking excursion. But it'll certainly work with this external tripod pouch and these really nice straps. I tell you, I like these straps right here because not only do they have the regular buckles, but they also have these kind of quick cinch little locks, very much like I have on my Black Rapid strap for adjusting things. So you can very easily, very quickly cinch this down and get your tripod secured for a day of hiking. I do like that a lot. And so now with this big pouch on the side, I can use this to put batteries and chargers and other things and get those out of the main compartment. So okay, let's come around to the side here and we'll take a look at the laptop compartment. Where'd the zippers go for that? Well, there we are. Alright, so I very easily could fit a 12-inch tablet in a leather bound case that slides in and out of there very nicely. I could not manage to fit my desktop equivalent laptop in there. It is a beast. I rarely want to take it on the road, and maybe that's a good excuse not to, because I'm not doing big video edits or a lot of Lightroom or Photoshop edits on the road. I'm usually using my tablet, so that's It would have been nice to be able to have that option, but that's just simply not going to work in this particular bag. Let's take a look at the quick access top of the main compartment, and there you go. There's a camera body. I've got a super tele attached, so I can't pull this out because of all the other lenses and stuff that are in there. But as I normally travel with this configuration with a full frame body and a walking around lens, it's going to be very easy to reach in the top of this, pop that camera out, have it ready for those kind of happenstance shots that happen while you're en route, while you're in travel. So I'm excited about having that kind of quick access here on the top. We'll undo these buckles so we can get to the rest of the main compartment. What do I have loaded in the main compartment here? I've got the rain jacket that came with the backpack. Here I've got a couple of primes, a 35 and a 70 prime tucked down in this compartment. As you can see, plenty of room for that super tele. So if I'm going on a wildlife or sports kind of outing, I've got plenty of room to be able to take this configuration with me. That's not all that often for me, but I'm excited that I have that option to be able to do that now. Didn't have that with the old pack. Over here I've got a pair of speed lights in cases, so I'll tuck those down in there. I've got the trigger for those speed lights so I can radio trigger from the camera. I've got a standard portrait lens here, and then I've got that walking around lens that I talked about, that 28 to 300. Not the sharpest lens in the bag, but it's the perfect lens to have on your camera while you're having a photo walk. All in all, I think I'm going to really like this bag. There's still room left over for the lens I'm shooting on here, that 24-70, which is my good inside portrait lens, or a second body, the full frame body, whatever. Plenty of room over here still for my straps. That'll wrap up my first look at the Manfrotto Backpack 50. I'm going to be taking this on the road in a few weeks. We're going to got some air travel as well as hopefully some backpacking. Pack this up for a number of different kinds of photo shoots. Come back with a separate video later and let you know how it performed in the real world. If you enjoyed this video, you found it interesting or informative, please press like down below. If you want to follow my future videos, I've got some more product reviews, I've got some do-it-yourself things in the pipe. Feel free to subscribe, and you can always check me out on my website, imagesbydesign-us.com. For Images by Design, I'm Jim Setzer.